How hard was it for you to relinquish control of an idea that you created? And how hard was it to hear no in some circumstances?
I can't even
that
adequately
you've spoken about in the
explain.
bonus.
I cannot even. I was literally watching an episode this morning where the network was wanting to shorten something. And I'm just like, bruh, please. But and that's another reason I'm going back into movies. I told my wife, I don't want people to be able to tell me no. I don't want you to tell me no. I want to listen to people, but I want to be able to veto them.
Okay,
and when somebody else,
you want to have the
I want to have the last word.
Yeah.
Okay? And I don't care. I want to have it. Okay. The network has it.
Yep.
Now, the trade-off is I don't have to fund it.
Yeah.
Right? But that means I've given up my power.
And it's not worth it for that.
It is in certain things. Okay. Now, if I can be honest, what I can say about the network that is valuable, the network and our executive is an amazing creative executive. The blessing of me not being the final say-so is she's really smart. And she's actually smarter than I am at this job. She's had much more experience. And she's not doing things just to do them. Everything she does, and this is not a skill I have yet, it's for the better of the show. If it's too long, it needs to be tighter. Jokes, this is not landing. She has no connection. She's not like, well, what is this actor going to think? What is this? She doesn't care. She's dedicated to the good of the show. As a comedian, my dedication is to the joke first. She's dedicated to the story and the show first. Everything else is extra. So in this season, what I'm learning is I need to approach it like that versus the way I do. And the only way I feel like I can do that is to have somebody else see it. That's not me. But one of the best things that happened in my life, Melissa and I saw this actor's movie, and it was a good movie, but it was far too long. I mean, far too long. So long in some senses that it wasn't a good movie anymore. And we listened to the talk back, and the actor was saying, oh, I wrote it, I directed it, I edited it myself. And Melissa was like, you shouldn't have edited it. Because it's hard to edit what you think is funny. And it's hard to tell what the masses will think. And if somebody else can't watch it with no dedication to anything else but the story, it's hard to see that. And I was like, I don't want to be that guy. So for me, that means stepping out of the editing room and letting other people be dedicated to it and seeing how they feel. And then being like, okay, let me fight for this, let me fight for that. But if I do it myself, it will all be long and funny, but the story might not make sense because I'm always going to be dedicated to the joke, the performance, the whatever. And until I can be like her, I need people like her's help. Now, in stand-up, I'm the opposite. I'm like her when it comes to jokes. It don't matter what I thought it was going to be. If it ain't landing, it ain't landing. You try 3 or 4 different ways. You make adjustments, but if it ain't, I will never keep doing a joke that's obviously not working. But I don't necessarily apply that trait to media just yet. Long form media, even my videos. If it ain't landing, I'll cut that joke. I'll cut it down on my short form videos. But like on Churchy, I still was like, we worked so hard and we shot it, and it don't matter. You shoot it because you might not use it.
Is that part of because you feel like you don't have the knowledge yet in that area of the media? So with comedy, you've done this for so long.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I can pick up when this is whatever, you can speak to Liz, and Liz will say, okay, you need to shorten this joke and stuff like that. Is that part of you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The one thing, this is why Melissa being a string is very helpful. She's also logical and she's grounded. Yeah. My head's in the clouds all the time. She's like, you are not experienced in this yet. You're not an experienced TV writer. You're not an experienced showrunner. You are at the beginning part of that part of your career. So instead of being so ego-filled, she didn't put it as harshly as this, but instead of being so ego-filled, why don't you listen to somebody who's 20, 30 years in that part of the business and lean on them because they'll make the stuff better. And I was like, you're right. And I think for that reason, I thought Churchy season 2 would be great because it's really well written and funny. But because I've taken myself back out of it, it is actually better than I even thought. It's tighter, punchier than I would have made it. Every episode, if I was at the helm in the edit bay the whole time, every episode would be 5 minutes too long. And in a 22, 25-minute episode, that's a lot. And also, I was watching Abbott Elementary Really helpful. That's 22 minutes. They don't sit in jokes for a long time. And you don't have to, it don't got to be 5 minutes of this piece to be good. I think Zach Fox's character is named Tariq. He'll do some really funny stuff, but it's not always long.
No.
But it's really funny in 25, 30 seconds. I watch The Office is one of my favorite shows.
It's the greatest.
Them bits don't be as long as I think.
No.
They're just really funny. So they feel
longer.
Cold, one of my favorite, rarely do their cold opens even last a minute. No. But, you know, it doesn't have to be long to be good. Rich, who does, Richard Washington does our TV and film, he spent years in the agency world. So he read a lot of scripts, saw a lot of stuff. He's even stronger than me. But he reports to me, I don't want you to tell me what to do. You're my employee, you hush. But he's often right. And him and Melissa talk, and then they come to me, and they tag team me, and they be like, you wrong, you hush. And I think if any wise leader from king to general to coach listens to wise counsel, and if they're wrong, you're wrong. Now, when I also am like, no, I believe in this, they'll, you know, it's a push and pull. But I've had to relinquish some control to make things better. And I think part of the reason that's tough is because what made KevOnStage, there was nobody but me. You know, and I was just years knowing what's funny, trusting this, building it, no views, good views. You know what I'm saying? But what makes KevOnStage Studios isn't the same approach that makes KevOnStage. So in order to go where I want to go next, I've got to be using other people. And also, I don't want to sit in editing bays for hours on end. I don't. I love it, but I'm on to the next thing. So I think it just works better the way it's working now.
Yeah.